Hi again, welcome to this Open Court Short, a short-ish conversation with Grant Hill, Chris Bosh, Isaiah Thomas, Kenny Smith, Kevin McHale, on the subject of trash talking. You know, trash talking has evolved over the years because now you can do it remotely. Your social media, or I guess you could text somebody, a lot of different ways you can go about it now. What's the value of good old-fashioned face-to-face trash talking?
Oh, because all that stuff in the paper and what you write on Twitter is over. I heard a lot of stuff like you play in a playoff series, and the guy they had won a playoff series, they're fueling themselves. They'd be like talking all this trash. And many starting playoff, I said, "Yeah, I'm here now." Like, I tell you what, I can't tell you. A lot of guys be getting like, let's find out. I grew up finding out who was better. We played one-on-one. I wanted to beat your ass playing one-on-one because we're gonna find. Then if you beat me that game, I'm like, let's run it back.
Yeah.
It was just about competition, and that's what trash talking was competition.
Anybody better than Larry Bird?
No, Larry's probably the best trash talker. And the best thing about Larry now? He's so buttoned down now. He's just like, I didn't do that. I said, man, that guy lied. He was the best trash talker. And he denies everything.
Can you tell a Larry story? I haven't heard much of him, any stories about him talking trash, and he's so quiet.
Yes.
Just every other time, and I never got to play on the court or see. But can you tell a story like something you remember?
There's a million of them, but one of my favorite ones is, we're playing Phoenix, and we're way ahead, okay? When we're down in the old Saddle Dome that they had outside.
Right.
And Larry, we're playing good as a team. Larry has the worst fourth quarter known to man. I mean, he's throwing the ball to the other team. I'm like, good Lord, we had like a 15-point lead. Next thing you know, we're down 2. And I'm like, how in the world are we going to lose this game? And Larry says, I'm going to bust the play. I'm going to shoot a 3. And I'm like, Bertie, it's just getting to overtime. I was told to Robert, Robert, we need to get into overtime, man. Try to get this ship right because we're sinking, man. So, Larry not only tells me that, he walked by the bench and says, typical Bertie, just real slow, fixing to bust a 3 on your guys and go home. And so he breaks the play.
Maxwell waits. Maxwell gets it to Bird. Bird turns and shoots, and
Larry hits it. He looks at the bench and goes, told you so. That was Bertie. And he had the confidence, man. That dude had so much confidence. He talked to the coaches. He talked to everybody. He was talking trash all the time, man. But fun. Great competitor, man.
Well,
Great competitor.
I also played with one of the best, Vernon Maxwell.
Oh, yeah.
So Mad Max was the trash talking of all time. But his trash talk, it went from fun, loving, to I'm getting competitive, to personal. So it was all 3. It wasn't just one, and he would pick certain guys to do certain things with. So to me, I always thought it was calculated. Because certain guys, it was fun-loving trash. Right. He and Gary Payton, it was fun-loving. It was always, Gary, you can't guard me. That it was fun-loving. And it was Gary would talk back to them, and they'd get competitive. Then there were guys he was trying to intimidate. And, in the playoffs against Phoenix, he actually, I thought, mentally and physically intimidated the wing players on Phoenix that year. And we single-handedly came back from 3-1 to win the championship.
Who are the best trash talkers of your era, Grant?
I think early on when you really could, I don't feel like they trash talk now as much, or they're not allowed to. I think the league has cleaned that up. But it was definitely Gary Payton. I mean, Gary Payton was, I remember our point guard when, early on in my career, he didn't want to bring the ball up against Gary. And that's really kind of how I started bringing the ball up and playing point forward. Gary would talk to whoever, talk to refs, players, coaches on other team, fans.
Yeah.
He talked nonstop and backed it up. So he was the guy that, I think was the ultimate. And it was a little personal. He got a little personal at times with folks. But I think, that's basketball. You're trying, like you said, you're trying to get an advantage. Yeah. You're trying to get over on somebody. And if you backed down or you showed that you were scared, then he had you.
Chris, anybody particularly effective or creative when you played?
I wouldn't say effective or creative. I think trash talking is kind of like a lost art a little bit. And probably starting with my generation, it kind of trailed off, one, because the league started instituting rules.
Right.
And it got to a point where it became disrespectful a lot. Or if you did get under somebody's skin, everybody would kind of like to try to make a scuffle on the court, like it's going to continue off the court. And we all know it's not. But, between the Twitter things, it's interesting with the Twitter dynamic. you'll get guys texting, you know, on Twitter and stuff like that. But when they meet up in the game, both quiet. You know, I've a couple of times last year, I had my popcorn ready, like, oh, here we go. Not that I want to see a fight. I want to see guys compete and go at it. And they never really kind of, you know, got to that point.
Chris, you said the key thing. It was about competition, man. It was, you know, competing.
Yeah.
It was fun because you were really getting the guy to compete.
Most
It was
trash
fun.
talk is to help you.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
not really to go at that. It's like, I need to get up. And it's funny, the first time I really, really trash talking, because it doesn't matter in the regular season, because you don't, playoffs. You know, Mark Jackson and I were really good friends.
Right.
You know, we grew up together, and the team brought me in. And it was like a alcoholic intervention. So I come in the room and everybody's sitting there, right? And so I was like, what is going on, right? So I sit down and they're like, you're too friendly to Mark. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, y'all high five before the game, and you know, you guys are talking, y'all go to eat. You got to change tonight.
Right.
So now they done put a battery in my back. So Mark has no idea that this conversation's happened. And he comes out, you know, give me a handshake. I'm like, that's the first thing I do. It's just, I did it instinctively because they had charged me up. So then he's looking at me crazy. And he was like, what's wrong with you, man? I was like, nah, we can't do that.
Hey, man, but you know, when we were playing the Spurs, that's how they was getting us, man. Because we were in such a mode back when we were playing in the Eastern Conference. Nobody likes nobody. When we get to the finals, we come out, we're just used to going right on the court and tipping it up. We play San Antonio. They were like, hey, what's up, man? And we just fell into it. Like, what's up,
They butted you up.
Oh, man, Coach came in there the next day. What's going on? You guys are just shaking hands. This is a friendly competition. And he just started killing us. And then so the next game, we come back up, same thing. And Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, nicest guys in the world. Man, you know, but they came up, we was hand on my face, bro. Tip the ball up, bruh.
There you go.
Reverse psychology.
Well, hey, so we used to have, remember you had chapel, right? Before the game, right? So my first couple of years, you know, we go into chapel, and whenever we were playing, y'all, it'd be Danny, Ceaston, we all be in chapel, and you saying your prayers and everything, you come out, right? And Lamb Beer goes, you gotta stop praying with those guys. I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, that make you soft. Every time you pray with them, they come out and they kick your ass. You gotta stop praying with them. So we come back to the garden, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to chapel. He's like, no, you're not. You're not going to chapel. You're not praying with him anymore.
They're having a little talk on trash on this open court short.